Kilauea's earthquake and lava surge, Canlaon's sudden explosion, and Semeru's massive eruption signal a new geological upheaval. This unprecedented sequence of seismic and volcanic events is straining emergency response systems, disrupting air travel on a global scale, and prompting scientists to re-examine whether 2025 is witnessing the beginning of a new wave of planetary-scale volcanic unrest. Kilauea volcano. Earthquake unleashes a fury of fire. A magnitude 6.2 earthquake struck beneath Kilauea's southeastern flank at a shallow depth of only 5 kilometers. It was strong enough to rattle buildings across Hilo and Kona, knocking items off shelves and sending tremors through one of the world's most closely monitored volcanic systems. GPS and tilt meters around Kilauea recorded a sudden and powerful inflation event, a surge of magma pressurizing beneath the volcano. Multiple fissures ripped open along the East Rift Zone and lava fountains erupted into the sky, reaching heights exceeding 80 meters. By afternoon, the eruption had intensified into a multi-vent fissure event. Lava flows are advancing downslope at a rate of up to 1 kilometer per hour, swallowing everything in their path. The air quality crisis has also deepened. So concentrations have surged to dangerous levels, creating a toxic volcanic smog, VOG, that has drifted across the island.
Concentration of sulfur dioxide. With the VOG, we are going to be seeing it very light.
Scientists fear a worst-case scenario. If the lava reaches groundwater or interacts with Kilauea's summit system, explosive phreatomagmatic activity could occur, similar to the violent 1924 eruption. We are witnessing a powerful, sustained magma injection into the rift zone. This is not a short-lived eruption. The seismic and deformation signals point toward a prolonged, possibly months-long, eruptive episode. Canlaon volcano, a silent giant, awakens without warning. On Negros Island in the central Philippines, Canlaon volcano, a stratovolcano, notorious for sudden eruptions, exploded in the early hours morning. An enormous ash plume shot 6 kilometers into the sky, accompanied by booming explosions and lightning flashes that lit up the darkness. Witnesses described the deafening roar followed by falling ash and shaking ground. The eruption was particularly concerning because it occurred with almost no warning. PHIVOLC's monitoring networks detected only minor seismic activity hours before the explosion. This indicates a fast-rising magma intrusion, one of the most difficult eruption types to forecast. Authorities immediately raised the alert level to 4 and issued mandatory evacuation orders for communities within the 4-kilometer permanent danger zone. Over 17,000 residents have now been evacuated. Ashfall has blanketed roads, farms, and homes across Negros Occidental. Power lines have been damaged, and parts of Bacolod City experienced temporary blackouts. Transportation has been heavily disrupted as airports in Negros and nearby Cebu suspended operations. The eruption also released significant SO into the atmosphere, with early measurements suggesting emissions exceeding 8,000 tons per day, an unusually high output for Canlaon. Semeru volcano, East Java engulfed in ash and fire. Mount Semeru in Indonesia, one of the world's most active and dangerous volcanoes, unleashed its most powerful eruption in more than a decade. Colossal explosion sent an ash column soaring 15 kilometers into the stratosphere. Within minutes, massive pyroclastic flows thundered down the volcano's southern slopes, traveling at speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour. The sky turned black at midday. We could feel the heat even before the ash reached us. People were screaming, running, Everything was covered in ash. Indonesia's National Disaster Mitigation Agency, BNPB, declared a national emergency, and more than 30,000 residents have been evacuated. Ashfall has buried villages under several centimeters of debris. Roof collapses are being reported. Lahars have begun to form as monsoon rains mix with volcanic ash and debris, threatening downstream communities. Scientists monitoring Semeru warn that the eruption may not yet have peaked. Continuous tremor, thermal anomalies at the summit, and increasing gas emissions indicate that a sustained eruptive phase is underway. Volcanic chain reactions, a global pattern emerges. Though these three eruptions occurred independently, their timing and intensity have reignited scientific debate about interconnected tectonic processes along the Pacific Ring of Fire. In recent months, heightened unrest has also been observed at Yellowstone, USA, Etna, Italy, Popocatépetl, Mexico, and Taal, Philippines. Satellite observations confirm an unusual global rise in SO emissions and ground deformation across several volcanic belts. Possible contributing factors include shifting tectonic stress, mantle plume pulsations, and regional magma surges in subduction zones. This pattern bears unsettling similarities to historical intervals of global volcanic clustering, such as the early 19th century Tambora 1815, multiple global eruptions, and the 1991-1992 volcanic peak following Pinatubo, evacuations and humanitarian response. Combined, the eruptions have displaced more than 60,000 people across Hawaii, the Philippines, and Indonesia. Evacuees are living in crowded shelters, often under difficult conditions. In the Philippines, ashfall and lahar risk threaten infrastructure and agriculture. In Indonesia, entire villages near Semeru are buried under ash, and roads are blocked. A planet in motion, scientists urge global preparedness. Volcanologists stress the urgent need for stronger early warning systems, international coordination, and public education in vulnerable regions. Roughly 800 million people worldwide live within 100 kilometers of active volcanoes.